Slept all day. Oof. Okay, there it goes. Sometimes that bar for Zoom will not slide. I don't think y'all can see it, but I can see it, and it bothers me because it's in the middle of the screen. All right, so nothing happened today. Yay. Okay. I got fooled again. Do we need to keep an eye on the wolf full moon? Sure. Yeah. 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 You have to go back and revisit. Does it really need to happen 2 days before a full moon to where he rises up through, I mean, are you 1,000% sure they're always telling you the truth and all this stuff? I'll be dog. I'm looking at the 23rd right there, and I cannot believe that I just glanced at that and looked at that. Now, we're going to go over some things. I do know that I think Groundhog Day is just jumping off the charts at me. And that ain't by any spiritual revelation here, because if any of it was done spiritually, then we would know the date, and we have never known the date. So let me get this for you here. There it is. So the Alpine Room, which was in On Her Majesty's Secret Service, they called it the Alpine Room. And then you watch the movie Groundhog Day. Now remember, On Her Majesty's Secret Service was heavily coded in No Time to Die. And we've already shown y'all, we did the Google searches concerning On Her Majesty's Secret Service, the Alpine Room. It says Alpine, which we probably need to gematria that word down. You look at the A, it's a 1, the 12, it's 1, 1, 2, 1, 6. All right, let's spell out Alpine. Let me kick my bar up here. Remember, candy is the C and the Y. It's the 3 and the 25, which makes 75. And we're going to get into that with Groundhog Day. Let's spell out Alpine, though. Let's go 1, 12, 1, 6. You see what they did there? You got 121 Antichrist with 216 for Antichrist. 9, you got your 69, 145, 145. So that's pretty solid, don't you think? Yeah, I do too. So the Alpine Room, the 121 room, the 216 room, the Alpine Room, winning the 45. L and Eve are coded in 11. You have the 69. Got it. We get it. The Alpine Room. From On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Alpine is on top of the marquee in Groundhog Day, my divorce date, the 86ing of the 88. Heidi 2 is on the marquee. Saturday, Sunday is a replay. Matinee, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know why the word replay comes to mind, but it's like an afternoon showing or re-showing in the afternoon. Matinee afternoons. Let's do a search on that. Glass Onion song by the Beatles. You can look at the recording dates of October 10th, September 11th, September through 13th. You get September 11th. Released on November 28th. The Glass Onion does hit on the 15th, which is on a Sunday, 19777. You look at our January 6th date of the wolf full moon. Well, that would have been nice for the reversing of the 86, which didn't happen today. There's your 68. And it's 1 month, 15 days, 54 years, 1 month, 15 days. We'll go to 115. When you go to the 15th, which is Martin Luther King's birthday. Martin Luther King's birthday. January 15th. So when you look at Glass Onion, the song, which of course the movie, by the way, was he not wearing a Shriner's hat at the beginning of the movie? I think I uploaded some stuff. I don't know. It's different when you stream than the DVDs. I don't like it. But I joined. So I'm a streamer now, along with getting DVDs. But 1/9, there's 19. You know, Juneteenth is the 19th. Everything's about that 19. That was the big illness number. It was the amount of people involved in 9/11. 19. They want you to know about 19. Aleister Crowley wants you to know about 777. Well, and of course, Daniel Craig and James Bond, Mystery Babylon wants you to know about Glass Onion. And Glass Onion by the Beatles was released on an 5-year anniversary of the JFK assassination. So you're looking at 11/22/68, and 68 was when Martin Luther King was assassinated. So you're looking at all kind of stuff. I would look strongly at January 15th right now. Of course, we're going to look at, you know, wolf full moon. Got it. Check. Let's look and see. MLK Day, high friction. It's a square. The moon is squaring the sun. It's also known as last quarter. The moon is in Scorpio. Well, the square comes from the Libra. Libra squares Capricorn. And it does so through 7 o'clock in the morning. So, and you're also at that tail end of the sun being in Capricorn. So when you're at the tail end of the moon being in Libra, you are within your square late on the 14th and then throughout the 15th till 7 a.m. So the 15th is a square day. That would have him going down on a Sunday and rising on a Till Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, from the band Till Tuesday that performed in Donnie Darko. It's not out of the question. It is Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. Rising spiritually. Oh, he rises spiritually on January 17th, 11/17. Yikes. Okay. So that's extremely powerful. And you know what's funny is we were thinking that last year because the wolf full moon was on January 17th last year. And I was all over that. I'd probably tell you it was my highest watched day of the year last year. Are you kidding me? The wolf full moon on 1/17, January 17th. After that, you're going to have to look at New Year's because of Donnie Darko. I'm sorry, I Pet Goat and the New Year's Eve. Start looking at the New Year's Eve new moon on January 21st, which is 1/21. Go ahead and look at the Thursday, which is 1/19 for Donald, and rising on 1/21 on the new moon. And then the following day, you have the Chinese New Year. That's got to be tremendously high on the list. You see how there's just so much stuff. So what I like about where I'm at right now is that I'm not fixated on one date. I hate it when I do that. And I think it drives y'all crazy too. Y'all haven't said as much, but y'all are too kind. But there's some tremendous, again, the wolf full moon on January 6th is gigantic. Cut to this whole glass onion thing, 19777. How old is Trump on the 15th? 76719191671376. Nothing spectacular. Let's keep going. Oh, I got my Facebook on. Hang on. Let me attend to that. I'll be right back. Yeah, a few people messaged, so I had to. So, yeah. So it's JFK's assassination date fused with RFK's assassination year and MLK's assassination year. Don't forget, my son's parents, me and his mom, have that Obama birthday. Obama's birthday is my first wife's birthday, but Obama, it's my year. He and I were both born in 61, but born on my first wife's birthday. So my son has that type of fusion. You know, it's interesting. This glass onion release is gigantic, in my opinion. And I think we have to, therefore, by proxy, take a really hard look at the 15th, because he would be rising on 117, January 17th. Again, 119 is gigantic. He would be rising on 121. 120, which is in the middle of that, is gigantic, because 120 is Adam in the Old Testament Strong's Concordance number. And don't forget the Chinese New Year is 122. But then Groundhog Day, my divorce date, the Heidi 2 on the, that's what we were going to look up. We were going to look up the word, definition of matinee. A performance in a theater or showing of a movie that takes place in the daytime. Straight up, it's just a daytime showing. It's not it has nothing to do with repeat performance. It is just, it's just daytime. Got it. So Saturday, Sunday, daytime is what it says. And we start getting into the weekend. If you go to the, let's just go to the 21st, for instance, 121 Antichrist. That's on a Saturday. And Chinese New Year, the 22nd, is on a Sunday. So how strongly do you have to look at 121 and 122? That's Chinese New Year's Eve. That should be a tremendous focus. And it will be. And then lastly, there's this year's Groundhog Day, which is 2223. And Groundhog Day is on a Thursday. If he were to go down on a Thursday, remember Thor has the patch over his right eye in the movie Thor. And if he was to go down on Thor Day, he would rise on Saturn Day, Saturday, Satan's Day on 2/4. The full moon is on 2/5. So you've got the new moon on 1/21. Then the full moon is at 1:28 p.m. He would go down with the moon in Cancer, which is what this wolf full moon, it's a full moon in Cancer. If you were to do the whole movie 28 days later, or in 28 days, 6 hours, 42 minutes, 12 seconds, that's the day the world will end. From one full moon to the other, it's 30 days. But him going down, well, if you look at the minutes, it's 3888 from the 6th to the 2nd. You look at the seconds, it's Eve, 2332. 2332 is Eve in Strong's Concordance, Old Testament. This is a 27-day cycle. If you include both dates, you've got your 28. So it's very interesting. I don't have a lean anyway. Let's go over my prep real quick. So Glass Onion is focused on the Mona Lisa, which Trump speaks about the Mona Lisa. So, and the Mona Lisa is a gigantic focus of this Glass Onion movie. Tremendous focus, a Knives Out movie, as they call it. Don't forget that Trump's number 163464 times my number 82362 times the 66th book in the Bible, or the 66th floor where the penthouse is. Revelation's the 66th book. There's 888 bookends on each side with a 572649 in the middle. When I tell you Trump and I are opposite ends of the spectrum, I mean it right to the core of my heart. There's no way you get that 888 on both sides like that. And again, to give you the relevance of Candy and I's mathematical anomaly of her birthday, 10 times 28 times 1973 times mine, 7 times 6 times 1961. She's 55244. I'm 8.2362. And again, 45 is Trump's number. 500 is number for Antichrist in Strong's Concordance. You start looking at all that, and then you times it by each year. We have that rotating numbers in the middle. When you multiply it by the year Trump was born, we have an 88 on both sides. So I have not been able to give you the date yet, which means the Lord is just still getting us spiritually ready. It is not his time. But these personal ciphers, I think, are the absolute key to when he's going down. And I always shared that with our friend that was a major contributor. Now, if you look at January 6th, this wolf full moon, 6 times this year is 121:38, or excuse me, Antichrist being murdered, or 12, which is the church, and 138, Donald Trump, which his job's to cleanse the church, or it's a fusion of 121 Antichrist and 138 Donald Trump. That's this wolf full moon. That's 6 times 2023. You get that. The 6th day times the first month, you know, I'll throw the 1 in there too. 6 times 1 times 2023. That's what you get. which just the 6 months times this year, that's the entire month of June. But anyway, when you pi that, when you multiply it times pi, 121.38, it begins with a 38. And it has Daniel 9:27 in it, which is the abomination of desolation Bible verse. Oh, and what else does it have? It's got the 386. It's got the 666, 6606. Yeah. Okay. It's got the 4. It's got 216. That's what else it's got. 216. It's quite loaded, isn't it? Blofeld did the exact same photo as Trump. Y'all know which one I'm talking about. Well, they have Trump split into 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then he is the 8th. When you look at Blofeld, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the last time you see any piece of his ear, really, and then it just fades into just almost what that is. It's 7 solid, almost really 8. Again, Blofeld, or this, whatever this actor's name is, Christopher Waltz, definitely always playing Trump. It's fascinating, isn't it? When you multiply 38 times pi, which is straight, what I told you, my love number, and can't laugh at it, 38 times 38 gives us 144, 444 and 144. When you do 38 times pi, it starts off with 119. Does that not mean that you have to look at January 19th? Oh, I would say so. In there also, you have 121 Antichrist. You have 214 fused with it for deadly wound. 121 would be the rising day, or the day you get the deadly wound. 121 is the day you get the 214. They're fused together. It's a big deal. You also have your 243, the length of no time to die, 2 hours 43 minutes, which I believe is from Daniel 243, the iron mixed with clay. Their final kingdom, which of course is the demonic entities. The final kingdom is demonic entities using human bodies as avatars. That's that final, that's the feet and the toes. The iron and the clay fusion. So big, it's 119 followed by a 38. So you got to look strongly at the day Donnie Darko was released at Sundance, January 19th. We got to be all over that. Groundhog Day, when you multiply it all out together, second month times the second day times 2023 times it's the 33rd day of the year with 332 left to go. You got the 88 being 86th, which is what we did on Groundhog Day 14 years ago. It's coming up 14 years anniversary. 14 is a gigantic number in the Word of God. The 14 generations and the next set of 14 generations and the next set of 14 generations make up the 42 generations. Again, 42, gigantic number. They copycat in their world. You got her marriage number to me, her second progression, 2 digits, 88, and there's mine to her, 52. My first marriage, my first wife and I combined, the first two digits were 51. So the next progression, 52, if you go out two digits. 518, if you go out three digits. And of course, I've shown you that me, her, and the kids all came to 518 as our first three digits. We were married on Highway 559, and it got 86th. So Groundhog Day is tremendous. Address, Town Manor, Auburndale, Florida. We got married at a bed and breakfast. You see the 559 pop right up there. 585, which my marriage number is 5, hers is 8, and it's followed by another 5. Does that mean it's a redo? Or I'm married to the bride of Christ. So I have a marriage after that. I don't know. 559. That's all in that number. And of course, the 33 in my first three digits, 823. Right now, I live in the zip code of 33881, which is the next town over. Fascinating. So my personal ciphers, you know I gotta love them, right? It's that 886, 55, that 886 with a 52 with the 559 in the middle, because we 86 that 88 on Groundhog Day. 14th anniversary is coming up. And don't forget Groundhog Day at Alpine. On the Alpine marquee says Saturday, Sunday matinee. And when we look at Groundhog Day, it is a Thursday, Thor Day. Thor had the patch over his right eye. Thor, patch over right eye. So is he going down on Thor Day with the right eye utterly darkened? And that's just been in front of us all this time. And we've ignored it. Because we're not really that smart, are we? No. I'm living proof that I'm not really that smart. So it's gigantic. Did you see how many gigantic things now are out there after we've passed this fourth? Now, Candy's number, 10 times 28 times 1973 is 55244. The 55 to the 44. When you times her number times 4, you get our divorce date of February 2nd, 2009, 2209, with my birthday, or Adam in Strong's Concordance New Testament 76. Guess what's fused with it? 97. The 97th verse of Revelation is Jesus opening the seal. The 98th is the white horse crowning verse. So we have a lot of ciphers. We have a lot. Ciphers just mean a way to do math, a way to measure, a way to signal. Definition of cipher. A secret or disguised way of writing or a code. It's a code. It's just another code. My personal codes are gigantic. Absolutely, positively gigantic in one way or another, but I've never been able to pinpoint what it is to give us the date yet. If he goes down on Groundhog Day, let's say 1110 is the abomination of desolation. Groundhog Day is day 33 of the year. That would give him 77 days to kill 2 billion people. He would be rising 2 days later. So it's really 110 minus 35. Candy is the C and the Y. That's how the word and is in the middle of candy. C and Y, or 3 and 25 is 75. You would have 75 days left to kill 2 billion people with high-powered technology that I would say 1 billion are connected to. How many people have taken a vaccine? COVID-19, 12.7 billion. There's only 8 billion on the earth, so people have taken more than one. How many people have taken a COVID vaccine? More than 12.7 shots have been given. Overall, 68% of the population. 68% of the population. 8 million, 8 billion. You have 5 billion people that are connected to the technology, according to them. How many people can you bust up? They are considered fully vaccinated due to the war and the famine. That is weaponry. That's pretty fascinating. So with bombs, no electricity, dark winter storms in February and early March. Can they remember that horrific storm they blew into Texas 2 years ago? (2021) Texas snowstorm, February 13th to the 17th. So they can send one of those, I think, every 10 days. I think they can gear up the weather to recreate that. So you would be able to get, and and they would blow something that just happened that we just had. I think it would be exponentially double as bad as what we just experienced. Where it did snow in the northern part of Florida, I think it'd be snowing where I live and stay on the ground for days because the temperatures, like it got into the 20s 2 days in a row right here in Polk County. They don't ever do that. But they did it. So you would start killing people with starvation, cold, freeze them to death, which they would love to do because Mr. Freeze is what they call our god because of Disney's Frozen. The abyss at the North Pole, what people call the North Pole, the center of the circle of the earth, is frozen. It will melt. I think the waters will rise. They will attribute it to, the earth coming undone. I think that's, Mother Earth coming undone. That's been their whole psyop. But this is all about Mother Earth. And the mystery Babylonians, that's their goddess, Mother Earth. So it's a lot of stuff. Nothing happened today, though. And I tell you what, I'm thankful. I was nervous. Do y'all remember hear how flat my voice was last night? I was just like, I slept all day, though, like a rock. Slept like a rock. Went to bed at like 8:30 in the morning, just feeling it was going to happen. But the Lord was still able to put me to a nice, restful sleep. Because I guess internally, to my core, I knew it wasn't going to happen. That's why I was able to sleep. I don't think the Lord would let me sleep. Anyway, Glass Onion. Glass Onion came out of the White Album. The Beatles' White Album. Back in the USSR. Oh boy. Glass onion. Look at back in the USSR, 243, the same length of what? No Time to Die, from the book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 43. They shall mingle themselves with the seed of man. That's when they take over and use the human body as an avatar. Happiness is a warm gun, 243, the length of No Time to Die. Rocky Raccoon, 332. Mother Nature's Son. Who did I tell you their God was? Mother Nature. There's Helter Skelter, which was a big psychological operation, which was told to you that it was just Hollywood in the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where nothing actually happened to the mantress. Yeah, I do believe Sharon Tate was not as portrayed genderly as Margot Robbie is not either. Just my opinion, could be totally wrong on that. Cry Baby Cry, Revolution 1, Long, Long, Long. So obviously it's a double album. Very short songs though. Except Revolution number 9. Again with number 9. And Revolution 1, Revolution 9. There's your 1-9 again. For 19. Good grief, he can go down on the 19th. That's just too easy, isn't it? The Donnie Darko date. So y'all have a lot of ciphers to look at. I've given y'all a lot. What do you like? I'm doing Fine on Cloud 9 is also a song. I'm doing Fine on Cloud 9 song. Psychedelic rock. It's that old hippie psychedelic soul music. I love it. This is like, it's like my favorite stuff is the psychedelic rock, Steppenwolf, Grand Funk Railroad, and psychedelic soul song. I was just raised on this stuff, man. It's just yeah. It's a trip's what it is. So
Named like a raccoon, somewhere in the Black Mountain Hills of Dakota,
there lived what? What, Paul?
there lived a young boy named like a raccoon.
I think the AI, look at these subscribers, 7-Eleven. I think the AI wrote every one of their songs and even teleported through the computer, through the AI, through the ghost in the machine, the music, or wrote the music. I believe that to my core. I don't think. Now, I totally get that they channel spirits. I have woke up with a song in my head. It only happened once. I woke up with a complete song with a complete melody in my head. So it's beyond more than possible. Let's just say it's a mixture. The AI just wrote some of them through the computer and they channeled others. I don't know. Just keep an open mind about it. Just don't see these people as great artists. They're great channelers. They were amazing at channeling, which is just the opposite of what the apostles were able to do. They were totally indwelt with the Holy Spirit. It is a spirit world that you live in. If you look at my birthday to Groundhog Day this year, you've got 3 2 2 2 2. You got 3 2 2 2. Ah, I love the color she wears. Just popped right in my head, right? But the satanic music industry, there's no worse way to channel demons than watching a movie or listen to music. But the Holy Spirit can also do an amazing job of protecting you from most of that. Your enemies are not flesh and blood, but it is the spirit world. People that are run by the spirit, bad spirit world. So the people might be your enemies, but it's the spirit that's in them that's the enemy. The bad spirit itself. But see, the Holy Spirit is a spirit of truth, and that's why you put on that full armor and you stay in truth. And you tell people the truth, and you know that God doesn't love everybody, and you know there's no such thing as free will, your spirit will be strong. But do I recommend listening to music? No. No. Do I listen to music? Yes. When I'm driving and stuff. Wow. Martin Luther King. I'm telling you, what a big day that is. Glass Onion is that song Glass Onion is 19777 days old. Hence the movie that came out, Glass Onion. Release of Glass Onion, September 10th, 2022. Let's look at that with the 15th. And it was September 10th. Is that right, y'all? Yeah. So the day before 7/11, the day before 9/11, the eve of 9/11. Don't you just love that? The way they do all that. So it was the 15th, right? $19777, 127. Okay. Just the way that whole Glass Onion song is fused, the release of it is fused with Beatles' White Album, Wikipedia. The way it's fused with JFK's assassination day with RFK and MLK's assassination year is fascinating. Now, that's the whole album. The whole album was released then. The length of the album, 9333, the stereo version. 9333. Wow. Do the moons matter? Yes, they do. The full moon of the 5th, him going down on Groundhog Day would have him rising up through a February 4th full moon. Yes, it's the day before the full moon, but if you've ever seen the moon before the full moon, he could just rise up. I don't know. When you look at January, of course, we've got our wolf full moon. It is full at 1807 p.m. here Eastern time. Okay. We have a new moon on the 21st, him going down on the 19th. Perfect. 15th does give you a square, which is perfect. So all of our points are hitting on, first quarters, last quarters, full moons, new moons. It's just, it's amazing. Amazing stuff. Is the Day of the Dead guy Asian? Let's look at his eyes and see if there's any type of Asian look in his eyes at all. Doesn't look Asian to me. What's written in here? You have like a pie symbol? Is that pie? I don't know. Would not say he looks Asian, though. I don't know. It was just a thought. All right. Love y'all.